Deuteronomy 16-20 gives Israel practical instructions for a holy society. It emphasizes celebration, fairness, godly leadership, and how to engage in righteous war. These laws were not just rules, they were about shaping a people of justice, peace, and courage. You shall keep the feast of Passover, the feast of weeks, and the feast of booths. Deuteronomy 16:1-16. Moses reminds Israel of three key festivals. 1. Passover, remembering God's deliverance from Egypt. 2. Feast of Weeks, Pentecost, celebrating the harvest. 3. Feast of Booths, Tabernacles, remembering their time in the wilderness. Then, he commands the people to appoint judges in every town. Justice, and only justice, you shall follow. Deuteronomy 16:20. Worship and justice go hand in hand. God wants his people to be both joyful and fair. You shall not sacrifice to the Lord your God an ox or a sheep. That has a defect. Deuteronomy 17:1. This chapter emphasizes pure worship and proper justice. Cases too hard for local courts go to the Levitical priests. If someone worships other gods, they are to be judged fairly, with at least 2 or 3 witnesses. Then God makes provision for Israel's future king. He must be chosen by God, not acquire too many horses, wives, or wealth. Must write and read the law daily, that his heart may not be lifted up above his brothers. Deuteronomy 17:20. True leaders serve under God. They don't rely on wealth or power, but on his word. The Levitical priests shall have no inheritance. The Lord is their inheritance. Deuteronomy 18:1-2. The priests are to be supported by the people because they minister before the Lord. Then Moses speaks of true and false prophets. Israel must avoid divination, sorcery, and speaking to the dead. God will raise up a prophet like Moses. I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak to them all that I command him. Deuteronomy 18:18. This promise points forward to Jesus, the final and perfect prophet. God speaks clearly through his word and his son, not through superstition or confusion. You shall set apart 3 cities for yourselves. Deuteronomy 19:2. God tells Israel to build cities of refuge, safe places for people who kill someone accidentally. The law also warns, false witnesses must face the same punishment. They tried to bring eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Was about equal justice, not revenge or I shall not pity. It shall be life for life. Deuteronomy 19:21. God's justice is both fair and merciful. He protects the innocent and holds liars accountable. When you go out to war, do not be afraid of them. Deuteronomy 21. God gives Israel rules for going to war. A priest encourages the soldiers before battle. Men who just built a house, planted a vineyard, or were recently married were excused. Israel must first offer peace to distant cities. For cities in the Promised Land, they were to remove the pagan nations completely. This wasn't random violence, it was about removing sin and preserving holiness. Even in battle, God's people must walk in order, mercy, and obedience. The real battle is for the heart. Deuteronomy 16-20 teaches us how to live under God's rule with joy, justice, and boldness. Chapter 16, celebrate and appoint just judges. Chapter 17, lead with humility and truth. Chapter 18, listen only to God's voice. Chapter 19, seek justice and mercy. Chapter 20, fight with courage and righteousness. This is the kind of society God desires, one where truth leads, leaders serve, and people live in reverence and joy. And in Jesus, our perfect judge, king, and prophet, we see all of this fulfilled.